When is it a bad idea to roll over a 401k into an IRA? That's what we're going to be talking about today. And really, there are three main situations when you do not want to roll over your 401k into your IRA. And this is particularly important if you're getting ready to retire because it can close a lot of doors that would otherwise be open to you in retirement. So let's talk about them. The first one is when you plan to rely on the rule of 55 in retirement. If you plan to retire at ages 55 or older, you can use something that's called the rule of 55, which says that you can use your 401k from the employer that you are retiring from penalty free before the age of 59 and a half for your living expenses or for any expenses. The point is you can access the account penalty free for the age of 59 and a half. This only works though if the 401k that you are of the employer that you are leaving from currently, you can't roll that 401k into an IRA. This gets rid of that rule. And then if you do that, you will be subject to the rules of traditional IRAs, which say you can't pull that money out before the age of 59 and a half without paying a 10% penalty. So if you plan to use the money in your 401k to retire before the age of 59 and a half using the rule of 55, then rolling over your 401k to an IRA is going to destroy your ability to do that. And actually, if you are planning to use the rule of 55, it's really worth exploring rolling any IRAs you have outside of your employer's 401k into their 401k. So if you've got an IRA that's holding past employers' 401ks, or if you've got 401ks from other employers, it might be worth exploring rolling those funds into your current employer's 401k so that you have all of your funds available to use for the rule of 55. So that's one scenario. Okay. The second reason you don't want to roll over a 401k into an IRA is if you are doing backdoor Roth IRA contributions. And here's why. The IRS takes all of your pre-tax accounts into account when considering whether a Roth conversion is taxable or not. So let's say you have $9 worth of pre-tax IRAs existing in an account somewhere, and you set up a separate IRA just to do your backdoor Roth IRAs. So you contribute $1 of non-deductible contributions to another IRA, and then you convert that $1 to the Roth IRA to do your backdoor Roth IRA. Now, since you didn't take a deduction on that $1 contribution, you might think, well, that's a non-taxable event, right? You didn't take a deduction for the contribution, so it's not as if you need to pay tax to convert it to a Roth IRA. Ordinarily, that would be the case, but the IRS is going to say, wait a minute. You have $9 other of pre-tax funds sitting over here off to the side. So we're going to take that dollar, combine it with those $9 in pre-tax funds, and we're going to say, really, 90%, so 90 cents of that dollar is taxable because your basis, the $1 that is really only 10% of all of your IRA balances. So that conversion that you did, that $1 conversion, 90 cents of that's going to be taxable and the other 10 cents will be tax-free. That's what happens if you try to do a backdoor Roth IRA when you have any pre-tax IRA balances in your name, which creates a big problem, right? Because we don't want our backdoor Roth IRAs to be taxable if they don't have to be taxable, right? So what you could end up doing, now here's a little twist to that rule. If those pre-tax funds are in a 401k, that rule doesn't apply at all. So what ends up happening is people roll over their 401ks to an IRA thinking that it's not going to matter. Their advisor just said, hey, you've changed jobs. Let's manage this money just like your existing investments are managed and nothing's going to change. Well, that creates a problem actually, because now you've made your backdoor Roth IRA contributions mostly taxable. The way to remedy that is to take your pre-tax IRAs and roll them into your 401k. If you're trying to I do this with clients all the time. They are over the income limit for Roth IRA contributions. They want to do backdoor Roth IRA contributions. They have a 401k or a solo 401k, something like that set up already. Well, we just take their IRAs and roll them into those 401ks, and that gets rid of that issue. That's very simple fix, but it's also a reason why you don't want to roll over your 401k into an IRA. So reason number two is if you are doing backdoor Roth IRA contributions. All right, just a quick recap. The first reason is if you are taking advantage of the rule of 55, that will destroy your ability to take advantage of the rule of 55. The second reason is if you're doing backdoor Roth IRAs. The last reason is if you have company stock in your 401k. If you have company stock in your 401k, there is a good chance you can take advantage of something called net unrealized appreciation, or NUA. Net unrealized appreciation is an obscure little section of the tax code that basically gives you the option of deciding whether you want to roll over those companies' shares to an IRA. Of course, if you do that, you're going to pay income taxes when you eventually distribute those shares. People might do this if they have an extremely concentrated position in company shares. They want to diversify those funds. Or you can pay just income tax on the basis of those company shares, roll them to a taxable brokerage account, and then everything above the basis, the net unrealized appreciation is what it's called, you owe long-term capital gains on. Now, there's a few other caveats to this rule. There's, say, as with everything in the tax code, there are some finer details, but that's the gist of it. It's a really cool feature of the tax code because it's not uncommon to see people, employees, with very, very low basis. Basis, by the way, is the amount you paid for the company stock in your plan. It's not uncommon at all to see people with maybe $20,000 or $30,000 in basis in their company stock that's now worth $500,000 or $1 million. That is not a rare scenario at all. So what those individuals can do is, instead of rolling over that $500,000 or $1 million in IRA and eventually paying income taxes on that $500,000 or $1 million, they can just choose to pay income taxes on that $20,000 or $30,000 and then pay long-term capital gains on the unrealized appreciation, the $470,000 to $970,000, the amount above that gain. That's a really valuable tool. But here's the thing: if you roll over your 401k to an IRA, you destroy your ability to do that. Even if you don't sell the company stock, if you do a rollover of your company stock and then any other shares you have in that 401k to an IRA, the IRS is going to say, well, you can no longer do or elect net unrealized appreciation. This is something that you need to do before the funds are distributed from the plan. So that's the third scenario in which you do not want to roll over your 401k to an IRA. So that's three scenarios. Oftentimes, people do want to roll over their 401ks, their IRAs, and there's many reasons to do so. I think the biggest one is that you just don't want to have a bunch of 401ks floating around out there at different institutions, right? And you want them managed according to how the rest of your investments are managed by your advisor or by yourself, perhaps, in accordance with your financial plan. And that's great. That makes sense. But there are certain situations where you are much better off leaving those funds in your 401k or even rolling them into your 401k to get rid of issues like putting those funds in a 401k for the Rule 55 purposes or getting them out of the way for backdoor Roth purposes. And then, of course, if you have company stock in your 401k, it's always worth looking into whether a net unrealized appreciation election might make sense. By the way, my name is Eric Googe. I'm a chartered financial analyst and a certified financial planner. I'm the owner of UVest Advisory. I've been doing financial planning for well over a decade, and I'm learning new stuff every single day. And I've set up this channel to share the stuff that I'm learning with you. If you appreciate this content, it would genuinely mean a lot to me if you gave me a like and subscribe. And I put out content weekly, so I will see you in the next video.